Welcome back, heroes and civilians, to a Little Fish Super Big Hero 6 review, where today's review is going to feature the Disney Store Deluxe figurine playset for Big Hero 6. So of course we will show off the packaging first, featuring a Baymax 2.0 on the bottom, Big Hero 6 for the ages 3+, Disney Store Big Hero 6 with Baymax 2.0 and Hero, the City of San Francisco on the back with Baymax 2.0, and again a warning for the choking hazard due to small parts, not for the ages 0 to 3. Genuine original Disney Store authentication. And the other side of the box, again featuring Baymax 2.0. The deluxe figurine playset pack contains 9 figures featuring Yokai, Red Baymax or Baymax 2.0, Tadashi, Nurse Baymax, and Wasabi, Honey Lemon, Hero, Gogo Tamago, and Fred in their super suits. There's also a very nice 6-figure pack that contains only Wasabi, Baymax 2.0, Honey, Hero, Gogo, and Fred in their super suits. So without much further ado, let's get this pack open and take a closer look at these figures. So before we start showing off the figures, I just wanted to show off the background that was in the packaging. And now that we've taken a look at the background, let's take a look at our heroes and the mysterious yokai. Now, normally I might not take these out of the package, but the package I purchased was destroyed at the bottom, so really easy to get them out. All you had to really do was snip the tape off the little tabs and it came right out. I'm going to try reconstructing the bottom of the packaging, but I think it's a bit far gone. Nonetheless, I have the figures. They are all held in with these twisty ties, so I'm gonna undo those and we'll take a closer look. So let's begin our lineup with Fred. Go around real quick. And here is a closer look at the details on the Fredzilla figure. He is stuck to the base. You cannot take any of these figures off of their bases. And on a lot of the figures, you will notice that there's some black paint scuffs. That isn't actually from the manufacturing, that is from packaging. The way that Fred and Baymax 2.0 were packaged, they brushed up against the figures, and a lot of paint kind of came off, which is kind of disappointing, but kind of hoping a magic eraser will take that off. Fred from the top. Unfortunately, this is Fred from the bottom, so you can't get too much detail of the bottom. But I do like the fact that his foot isn't completely on the base, so that is some nice detail. And this is Fredzilla. Next up, we'll take a look at Wasabi. So this is the Wasabi figure, and something I have to say I really like about this figure is the metallic paint on his jacket. It is really nice, and it really has a nice shine to it. I also like his pose and how his jacket flows like the wind is blowing. That's really nice. So we'll do a round for Wasabi. And they have the nice pattern for his pants. Again, all characters are fixed to their bases, so you cannot take them off. This is the bottom of his jacket. Weapon. I really wish that they had used the same metallic paint that they used on his jacket on the light blades as well. That would have had a really nice effect to it, but instead it's kind of this flat matte painting. Going to try to get a close-up of his face, but the weapon is kind of in the way. And if you guys notice, there is a cut in his face. It looks like he's got a battle scar. Makes him look pretty rough and tough, but we all know that Wasabi is one of the kinder and gentler of the Big Hero 6 bunch. One of the many reasons why I like his character so much. And from the back. And from the top. And again, not much from the bottom. Not really much else to him. Might have needed a little bit of shadowing on his front. There's a little bit of excess paint on his belt. But otherwise, a really nice figure. But again, really wish they had used that metallic paint on the electricity. Next up, we will take a look at the leader of the group, Hiro Hamada. this is Hiro, and his uniform, the purple, is very shiny. And something I find very strange about this figure is that the top half looks completely different from the bottom half. If you notice, it looks very faded and distressed on the bottom, while the top looks really shiny and new. Looks like two different halves. Kind of weird, but still a nice sculpt. Good detail. Just kind of wish that the shine was throughout the figure, but not too bad. And from the top, and you can get a look at his shoes. So that is Hiro. Kind of get some detail on his eyes there. And next in the lineup is Gogo Tamago. So this is Gogo. From the top. And just a close-up of her detail. So this is her face. Not sure if you guys can see it, but there is a little bit of blushing on her cheeks underneath her helmet. And the wheels. You can see her hands attached to the discs. And like I said before, there's some really great detail to these figures. So this is Gogo Tamago, and next in the lineup is Honey Lemon. Now with Honey Lemon, if you notice, it looks like she's leaning backward. The way that she was in the package, her figure warped. So now the base and her body will just fall right over, so she does not stand up by herself. So I will be holding her up, but we'll take a look of her all the way around. Really wish there was a way to straighten out her base and her body, but I'm way too afraid that I might break her figure, so poor Honey Lemon. So let's take a closer look at her details. So those are her shoes. A little paint scuffing, but not too bad. And there's a little bit of a paint blotch on her dress, and the teddy bear purse with all the chemical balls around the band. You kind of make out the eyes and the mouth. Heart on the bag. Doesn't have any of the buttons, but at least they added the heart. And the teddy butt. And a close-up of her face. And her hair. Chemical ball. And from the top. And not too bad. Out of all the figures we've looked at so far, I think she might have the worst paint job, but still not a bad figure. Next up in our team lineup is Baymax 2.0. Like Honey Lemon, Baymax 2.0's base is a little warped, but he can still stand on his own. He is one of the heaviest figures in the set, not to mention one of the tallest. So we'll take a quick look around. And now for the close-up detail. First off, I'm going to show, like I mentioned with Fred, being packaged by Yokai, left quite a bit of battle damage, really hoping that the scuff marks will come off. That shouldn't happen. For a Disney exclusive, this is really disappointing, so a few points off there for poor packaging Disney. Regardless of the scuff marks, the figure itself is really nice. The paint job is pretty good. He's really shiny. You can see the disc input. Could have used a little bit of shading there as well so you can actually see it. But a really good sculpt nonetheless. I love the attention to detail. Again, battle damage from being in the package with Yokai. And from the top. And this is Baymax 2.0. Next up in the lineup is Nurse Baymax. So this is Nurse Baymax, exclusive to the deluxe set. And now for a close-up of the detail. When I first saw this figure, I could not tell what he was holding in his hands, but now that I have him in my hands, I can tell that that is a Band-Aid. So that's a Band-Aid to help heal the wounds after battle. Hopefully none of our heroes have gotten too hurt. The mold on this is a little iffy. You can see really weird marks throughout. That's his face. And the disc input. And again, these seams on the figure are not the greatest. He has the spot on his side and on his leg, but he does not have the gray markings on his feet. There's also some really weird white paint at the bottom of this foot. And again, bad seam. And bad seam all around his head. But I still really like this figure. And from the top, we have Nurse Baymax. And next up in our lineup is the creator of Nurse Baymax, Tadashi Hamada. For those of you who have been following my Big Hero 6 reviews, you know how much I've been trying to find anything Tadashi. Well, this might be the only Tadashi item that Disney has made. Hopefully when the TV show comes out, they might make a few more items. And we will take a closer look, or a look at Tadashi's face. And they have the insignia of his alma mater on his hat. Clothing. And it is really hard to make out. They do have that symbol on the back of the hat. I'm gonna try to get that to clear up. You can kind of make it out. And I like that they put the folds in his pants, and that his hand is in his pocket. Yet again, a really nice sculpt. And this is Tadashi. And lastly, we have our villain, Yokai. So a close-up of Yokai's detail. And as I said before, a lot of his paint came off on the other figures. Boots. So there's not too much to him paint-wise, but still a really nice sculpt. I love the flow of his coat. Very nice. I mean, all the sculpts on these were really nice. And all in all, I really like these figures. And what do you guys think of my new background? So in the comments below, let me know what you guys think. Of all the figures, which one was your favorite? Are you guys as excited about the TV show coming out next year as I am? Well, I have some other news that Tokyo Disneyland is going to be getting its own Big Hero 6 ride. It's kind of like the teacups or the whip ride, but it still looks pretty cool, and I would love to go there just to go on that ride. I am super excited about it, and that holds great hope that there might be a ride somewhere in Disneyland or Disney World's future for Big Hero 6, especially if the TV show does well. I do know that there is still the Baymax meet and greet, and I hope to see Baymax soon. But until then, I have these figures, and I have my imagination, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up. You can also subscribe, or you can follow me on Tumblr and Instagram. And until next time, heroes, next time on Little Fish Super Big Hero 6 Review.